welcome to another episode of Sit Down for Stand Up. I have with me today Karen from Birmingham. How are we, Karen? Are we well?
I'm very well. I'm still buzzing from the Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath concert yesterday.
You said was it? Did you do it on radio or did you go see it?
Oh, I wanted to see it. I couldn't get any tickets. The local radio were doing like coverage of it,
All
like the behind the scenes, the sort of atmosphere. And then today on YouTube, about 1 billion people posted the concert. So I've been watching it like live on YouTube. Yeah, it was cracking,
because we've been
busting.
running at the same time as the
Right.
Oasis gig, haven't they?
Who?
I don't really care.
Oasis? Who?
Don't know, I'm a 90. Well, I was born in 91, so I like Oasis, but Ozzy's is Ozzy, isn't he? Is it the Prince of Darkness, isn't it?
He is, yeah. He's
Right.
amazing. I was born in 1970, so I'm like prehistoric. Also, last night ELO were playing, another great Brummie band.
Yeah,
So it's like Clash of the
heard of them
Bands in
there.
Birmingham yesterday.
I mean, one of my favourite lines from a song is from Mr. Blue Sky. Is it ah
Oh,
and now his hand is on your shoulder, feel the man. I remember you this way. And I remember like you listen to the songs like when you're younger, you don't actually listen to the lyrics. And then when you
true.
go back, you're a little bit like, oh. So yeah. So Karen, how long have we been doing comedy for?
3 months, going
Three,
into my
oh,
fourth month.
how many gigs have we done?
Um, three,
Okay, how we
with
find
about six more to do.
okay, so we're going straight into it then, aren't we? So, okay,
Yeah.
how are we finding it so far?
I really love it. I find my fellow comedians very kind and supportive. I'm learning a lot. I never thought for one moment I would go into stand-up comedy. Loving it. Oh my God, I told you we've got a massive thunderstorm.
Oh,
I love it. I love it. It's just, it's like surreal. I mean, I survived bowel cancer, and this is sort of like really nice, but how the hell did I get into it? It just all happened by chance.
it's going to be, well, you sort of lined up for the next question then. How the hell did you get into comedy? And, what sort of gave you the, okay, I need to think of a female equivalent of how did you get the balls to go on stage? You help me. How did you grow the tits to get on stage? Is that,
Oh, that is perfect. What a perfect cue. How I got the tits to go on stage, literally, I was I'm doing my micro masters in writing for performance and the entertainment industry at Cambridge University, all online. How the hell I got to Cambridge, I will never know. I'm a working class brummie. Um, how I got into it is via the tits comedy. Kelly Griffiths.
ah,
She's amazing. She is one hell of a stand-up comedian and actress, and also a very good friend now. Yeah, she was looking for people to do the tits comedy in Birmingham. And I said, can I do performance poetry? Because that's what I'm used to doing. And she said, no, turn it into stand up. And my first reaction was, it begins with F and ends in K.
swear. You
And
can
she says,
swear
no.
away, don't you?
She says, I will help you. And we somehow turned all my experience of living with cancer, my stoma, my colostomy bag, all my 101 poo disasters into comedy. And I did the stand up with the tits, wonderful girls. And that night changed my life forever. I went on that stage as a newbie, as a comedy virgin, and something happened on that stage and it just changed forever. The fact that I'm a double G as well, you couldn't make it up, you know. I mean, we go around calling ourselves the tits, and in all fairness, I've got a fine pair. But thanks to Kelly and the other girls from the tits, I'm now going back end of July and doing the Nottingham show with Kelly and the girls. So that's how it happened, by pure chance, but it changed my life forever.
Well, I already feel sorry for the audio viewers and not the video viewers. You can't see these double G's. You're getting left out, people. You're getting left behind, I'm afraid. So, how did your first how did your first set go? Like, how long was it? How long did you prepare for it?
Okay, basically, I was given 10 minutes. So with Kelly, we worked on the script, on funny things that had happened to me through the cancer journey. Everybody thinks the chemotherapy ward is doom and gloom. It has the biggest laughs and jokes and characters, full of laughter constantly. It's like a carry-on film. And then all the funny stories linked to, having the colostomy bag, the Barbie butt, which is sewn up bum. So
Is that what
yeah,
it
we worked on
means?
it.
Is that what it
It's a
means?
Barbie butt.
I didn't even know what that
Yeah,
meant.
yeah. And if you're a bloke, you have a Ken butt. And I love Barbie. I love wearing pink. I love Barbie. I have the Barbie butt, and just like Barbie, I'm living my best life ever. As corny as it seems. But yeah, if you're a bloke, it's a Ken. If it's a girl, you have the Barbie butt.
Oh,
So I did 10 minutes only because have you ever had that feeling when you're just floating? You're just floating on a cloud of happiness. The audience liked me, they were laughing. I was like, oh, quite like this.
hmm.
With lots of jokes about the colostomy bag and poo disasters, and Auntie Grace
Shit.
saying, oh, what you been up to, you naughty girl, to get cancer up your bum because mine's in my rectum. So only your Brummie Auntie Grace would say things like that in front of my mum and my other aunties. So embarrassed. Um, Honestly, I was floating. I thought I'd done 5 minutes. I came off that stage to a round of applause. I was like as high as a kite. I'd done nearly 20 minutes. How, I
Okay.
will never know. And I came off that stage. Kelly came over. Oh my God, you were fantastic. Hug, hug, hug. Um, and then one of the other girls said, you need to get yourself to the Edinburgh Fringe. And I said, what fringe?
Yes.
And in end of July, I've got a couple of comedy gigs preparing for the Edinburgh Fringe, and I'm going in via the disability route with Ben and Disability Cants. I've got 2 gigs up in Edinburgh.
Okay.
So
Okay. Nice.
it all changed that night. And it made, I know this sounds, for anyone that's been on the cancer journey, it's
Mm.
horrible. My heart goes out to you or your family and friends that have been on it. That night, like I said, changed my life forever. And it made me realize I had to go through cancer to be on that stage and be where I am today as a stand-up comedian. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, if you can do cancer, I know you didn't choose to do it. If you can do cancer, then comedy's sort of like second tier almost when it comes to like
That's
frights and
exactly what Kelly said. Yeah. She said, why are you scared? She said, you've been through the very worst. What's the very worst that can happen to you? They don't
yeah.
like you. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, 5 years and now from in remission to cured of cancer, I had to go through that. And luckily, I've always had a good sense of humor. And I think my sense of humor got me through my cancer journey and my stoma, colostomy bag, and 101 poo disasters that I've had. So in a way, it was like destiny, wasn't it? It was a journey. It was a
Yeah.
path. Mm.
Would you say the cancer's like sort of like created a more of like a gallows humor?
Yes.
Yes. We're
100%.
even though we're bright and beautiful clothes, inside we have now a dark soul of comedy ready to project to the world.
Yeah, I'm like the Princess of Darkness when it comes to comedy. I'm like, up there with
Not
Ozzy
Sharon.
Osbourne.
We'll get rid of Sharon then. She's not the prince of comedy or princess of comedy or whatever. So Okay, so how are you now about going around getting gigs and stuff? Like, is it mostly through Kelly, or are we using the forums?
I'm using the forums. Kelly, obviously, with the tits comedy. I'm doing Nottingham, but I'm using the forums, and I've made a lot of new friends on the Facebook community pages,
Yeah.
and it's lovely. It's really lovely, and I apply for gigs, and sometimes I don't get a gig, which is fine. Sometimes I do. Happy days. And sometimes I get sort of, well, we'll put you on the waiting list. But most of the time, it's pretty positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you've got about 6 gigs lined up. Are they all in like the upcoming months, or are they further down the line? Because it is like quite hard, like logistically, to organise them all, then all the travel to and from, and then yeah, it can be hellish.
Absolutely. I'm doing July, August, September, and then in October I go back for my second year of my micro masters course,
Okay.
and that would be script writing. So that's quite an intense year. The first year we did stand up, we did performance poetry and situation comedy, which was good. But the second year is a tough one. Yeah, so I sort of did it for July, August, September, and sort of, I used a very friendly, low cost budget hotel. So
Well,
I plan it around where the cheapest of these hotels is going to be. Get a gig. Most of my gigs are going to be East Midlands
yeah.
and sort of East Yorkshire. Love to do London one day. That'd be the goal, London and Kent. But yeah, I mean, keep it like Birmingham, East Midlands, the Yorkshire, East Anglia, and then go further afield.
Well,
But
I'm
it does
actually
depend on cost.
a
Mm.
hundred. I think Birmingham is. I mean, I was on Zoopla the other day looking at properties, and I think Birmingham is probably one of the most conveniently located places for comedy because you are in the middle. You are bam spam in the middle. Where like being Southeast London, for me to even attempt to get up north is only 3 4 hours ready to go. So I think Birmingham is quite conveniently located for
It
comedy.
is. We're very, very lucky in Birmingham. I mean, the dream will be one day to play the Birmingham clubs. I did make it to the top 12 of the BBC Funny Women.
Right.
I got to be in the top 12. I got to play the Glee Club. I mean, honestly, I thought, no word of a lie, oh, I get to do the Glee Club maybe in about 5 years,
Yeah.
not bloody 3 months. I
When it
didn't
comes
win, but it was an experience. It was an experience.
when it comes to comedy, do you think there should be women only nights, disabled only nights, LGBTQ only nights? Do you think there should be them categories because they do bring a rise to people might not have heard of, or do you think it should all just be like blended into one pot?
The answer to that is yes and no. Yes, I think you should have women's nights, disability nights, LGBTQ, or they should be there because it does encourage new talent. And
Yeah.
also, for people that maybe are doing comedy for the first time, you're in your own little safety net, you're in your own little bubble of people that are like you. But also, I think we should mix with like the men, the pros. I think there should be a happy mixture. But I think to start out, maybe yes. But
I
then
see.
saying that, I want to go into the mainstream and work with people that, men, LGBT, disabled women. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a yes and no answer.
I didn't think of it from that perspective before. So, at a starting point, to say mid-tier experience is perfect because, like you say, your comfort zones, and then after that, well, you're in the jungle. Then you've got to fight with the lions, you've got to fight with the gorillas, and like some of the best comedians out there. I mean, I had it in a podcast a couple of weeks back where it says why at professional level is there still a women category where there is no shadow of a doubt that women are brilliant at comedy. Do you know, like that it's so at the point at that tier level, I think it should dissolve. At the beginning, I think
Mm.
it is absolutely fine. So we've got our 10-minute sets. Have we looked at doing any sort of like gong shows, any roast battles?
They absolutely terrify me. I mean, at one stage, I was like, help. But I think maybe next year, yeah, start doing the gong shows and doing a much more higher level competitiveness of comedy. And put me big girl pants on. I mean, I'm over 50, and I could do a lot of gags about hysterectomies, postmenopausal women, and being over 50 and turning into your mom. I do need to mix with the big boys, so I have considered it next year, definitely. Just
And
confidence.
I mean, my favorite shows to do are gong shows because they are cutthroat and you can't ever take them personally because it's only what sort of three people in the crowd think of you. So they are good, and they'd all sort of chuck you sort of straight into the deep end. I mean, we'll try this. We'll see how it works.
Oh
Roast
no.
roast battles. Uh, I insult me. Give me an insult quickly. Hurt my feelings.
You soft southerner London. You think you know it all. You don't know your bloody way past Milton Keynes, let alone up to Birmingham.
With Milky is, so you're right on that.
Soft southerner. Oh, I'm sorry. My boyfriend's from London, from like the East End, and we can really banter for each other. I mean, the things he comes out with, me being a Brummie.
I
But I
because I
don't
say
like insulting people.
no, I know, but I like to because in comedy you can't. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have that hard shell where people, do you know what I mean, will hurt. Some people will hurt abuse, and I don't take any of it personally. So
No, I don't.
okay, with it being quite a new comic on the set, how do you or slash how would you deal with hecklers?
Ooh, I think I would say, Oi, I haven't survived cancer to put up with this, mate. You want to wear my bag for the day? Here, full of shit like you. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm a cancer mistake
That's
girl.
good. That's good. That's perfect.
As
Yeah,
I get.
that's perfect. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, that'd absolutely kill it. So
would
okay,
it?
it would because who was I speaking to the other day, and it was absolute incredible advice they gave me. It was that when it comes to crowd work and heckling, the bar is a lot lower because
Mm,
they expect your rehearsed staff to be golden. You've come here to say this, it should be good. But with crowd work and stuff, it's a lot lower because they know it's live and it's in the moment. And as long as it
mm.
sort of slaps, then it's absolutely fine. Like that shit joke, perfect. That would absolutely stand an ovation.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
yeah, like no worries. I'm going to come to your next show just to heckle you now. I'll give you a
Oh,
softball.
please,
I'll give you a softball, then you can smash
please.
out the park.
Oh, I'd love that. Because I do need the experience, and that would be amazing. Because I can just give as good as I get, really, I can. And it would be quite good fun as well, because you imagine all the things you could come out with. And I swear like a trooper on stage.
Oh, I
And
swear.
oh, I love it. My mom, look, I'm 55 years of old. My mom still tells me off for swearing. I'm like, Mom, don't swear, it's naughty. I'll wash your mouth out with soap and water.
I can't remember who said it, but it was on Def Jam. It was like, so I can suck a dick, but I can't say dick.
That's good. That's good. But
Not me, just on the record. I'm saying like for the female comedy, he's like, swear away, girl. Like, say your words. So, was
oh,
it with
you got me thinking about hecklers. I'm going to write down some things that I could respond to. But as you said, probably the best responses are the spur of the moment ones that just come out.
Yeah,
like playground survival, isn't it? You know, how you survive in the playground when you're a kid, you just come out with it.
it is. But I also I think I'm quite good at hecklers because I owned a pub for 4 years, and the amount of abuse you see men give other men in pubs as banter is just. I know I've sort of just taken that with me, almost like the abuse they'll hurl.
But just
Like,
mention about the Thunderbolt.
yes, yeah. So we lost a bit of connection there, Karen. So I thought you died on me.
No, 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 never. We have a massive thunderstorm up here in Birmingham, a big thunderbolt, and the phone just went a bit weird. But the house is okay. I'm okay, and they don't call me the Princess of Darkness when it comes to comedy for nothing. So yeah, my God, thunderbolt. But yeah, I'm good. So sorry about that,
No,
everybody.
as long
You
as you're
know
still alive. So, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Imagine getting struck by lightning when you're doing comedy. Oh, that'd be something
Oh,
to get the critics talking about, wouldn't it?
yeah, I mean that would be a bit of clickbait, wouldn't it? So I think you're a bit selfish, to be honest. I would have mauled you, but the view count would have gone through the roof. So you know,
Yeah,
silver
SB
lining.
Basil, the audience like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd put it on your obituary, lovely woman, made me famous. So, you know,
You went out with a bang.
we'll rehearse it again. Just got to stick your finger in the socket for me, please. And we're all, we're all, we're all golden. Oh, so I can't remember where we were, to be honest. So
uh, I don't know.
oh, I just gave you my Martin Luther King speech, and you weren't here to hear it. So it was Oscar
Oh,
worthy.
I'm sorry. Oh,
It was
don't take it
whatever
personally.
whatever I said was probably waffle, anyways. So okay, so okay. Let me try and get back onto it. So we're new to comedy. What is your favourite moment you've done in comedy so far? And my favourite question always: what time did we bomb the hardest? Was the stage just the devil?
Oh God. Okay, when did I think the tits comedy was up there because like I said I was floating. The BBC Funny Women that went down really well with all me. I have a habit of putting on my colostomy bags. I draw them on Dolce and Gabbana logo, Chanel logo, and the I don't know Louis Vuitton logo because I joke to the audience, this is the only time I'm going to get a bloody designer handbag, isn't it? By doing this. So yeah, I think both of those audience were really good. When I bombed, oh God, I thought I was going to die.
Instead
It was a good one
instead
until I
of
did my famous Cliff
instead of
Richard
Louis
joke.
instead of Louis Vuitton, could you do like Louis shit on? Like do like poo
That is a
butts.
good one. I like that.
Like I was
God,
trying to think of them. I
you've
can't.
been an agent.
Yeah,
Louis
Dolce and
Shitton.
Gastro. I'm trying to think of them now. Like,
Uh, do you know, I'm going to try that. That is absolutely amazing. Oh,
yeah,
wow. You want to write my scripts?
yeah. You can take
But
it
when I
unless
bombed,
I get a Ken butt, then I'm claiming it back. Okay, it's
all
yours.
right, okay.
It's yours until I
I'll
get
make
my.
sure you get a Kindle.
So go on. Okay, so sorry. Go on. Continue. Best moment, worst moment.
What was literally the tits and the BBC Funny Women. The worst one, when I bombed, I'd done a lovely little gig in Lincoln. That
Mhm.
was good until I told my famous Cliff Richard joke.
Oh, what is it?
The front row were a brilliant row of lads. They got it. They were really ha 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 ha
Yeah.
ha. Some people in the audience got it, some didn't. I sat back down and I heard the lady that was next to me say to, I presume, her husband or partner, I'm a Cliff Richard fan. I didn't particularly like that joke. Oh my God, I could have died in my seat when I went back. I was like, oh, I'm upset at Cliff Richard, man.
What was the
But
Cliff
I did
Richard
say
joke?
in the audience, I did say any Cliff Richard fans, everyone totally ignored me except the lads on the front who were up for it,
Yeah.
tell us your best Cliff Richard joke. And I was surprised, they're like in the 20s. I was surprised they even knew who Cliff Richard was, but they did. And it went down well, but then, this woman wasn't impressed. Never upset
What
a
was the
Cliff
joke?
Richard fan. The look she gave me was like the look of death.
What was the joke?
Oh, okay. Basically, the joke is Cliff Richard is on the final leg of his world tour and he's
Uh-huh.
in Japan. And he says to the audience, what song do you want me to sing next? And the Japanese audience, absolutely wild with excitement. Tits and Fanny, Tits and Fanny. And Cliff Richard goes, I'm a devout Christian. I don't talk about tits and Fanny. Are you sure you've got the right song? And the audience are wild with excitement. Tits and Fanny, Tits and Fanny. And Cliff goes, well, I don't know it. You're going to have to sing it to me. And the Japanese audience absolutely wetting themselves and they start singing Tits and Fanny, how we don't talk anymore. Tits and it's so funny how we don't talk anymore. Tits
It's
and
so
Fanny.
funny.
Honestly, the lady who's she was her face was like, I was like, oh shit, I've upset a Cliff Richard fan. I'm going straight to hell. And the best thing was, it was in a former church as well. The comedy club had been transformed, from a church into a comedy and sort of arts centre. So I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting here in a church. I've just upset a Cliff Richard fan and I'm going straight to hell.
I mean, that woman can go fuck herself, to be honest. Like, if you don't like a joke, you don't like a joke. Like, that's funny. So,
Well,
and
I thought it was. The lads on the front row did. They all said, oh, I'm going to tell my mum that because my
yeah,
mum's a Cliff Richard fan. She'd love that.
yeah.
But
I
the
mean,
best thing is when it was the BBC Funny Women of the Year, the Birmingham Heat, I was on my best behaviour. I thought I better not tell my famous Cliff Richard, well, infamous Cliff Richard
yeah,
joke. It's the BBC and the BBC and Cliff Richard, don't
yes.
mix. So I didn't tell it, but I was dying to, but I didn't. I was a good girl. I was on my best behaviour that night because, it was the
Mm.
BBC.
So, would you say you write your jokes for yourself or for the crowd?
Both.
Okay, go.
Um, Sometimes I write them because of what I observe in the street, on the bus, in hospital. I mean, I've got loads. And sometimes I write them for the audience. I do like a good joke and I
Mm.
like to sort of twist and turn it around slightly. Most of the time, if I find it funny and I test it on my mom, my sister, my boyfriend, my best friends, if they find it funny, then I know I'm onto a winner. But again, I'd say both. It
Okay,
depends.
okay,
But
and
when I do my stand up with the cancer and colostomy bags, can I just say it is done in a sympathetic, empathetic, sensitive way? Because I have to be very careful. So it is done in a way that you know gets the message across,
yes.
but isn't totally offensive.
Okay, I understand that. And let's say we do a joke on stage that you think's funny and it doesn't get the response you thought it would. How many times would you do that joke before you hang it up or, say, you know what, this is part of my material?
I've only been doing it for a very short time.
Mm.
I'd probably give it another go, and if
Yeah.
it's still died a death, I'll just go, oh bloody hell, just let it go. It's not working.
Mm.
And just put it in that little box of you fucked up, Karen. Don't ever say that joke again.
Don't. I've had so many of them. One of them, I did one in a Shoreditch, and being a big guy, I don't know why I decided to open with. I fucking hate the left. They made it so you can't laugh at fat people anymore. It makes this job a lot harder. And
Oh,
nothing. It's not a good joke. I thought of it there and then, and the whole set. was just silence.
You didn't even get the sympathetic, feel sorry for you laugh.
No, nothing, nothing,
Oh,
like nothing. And it was just like, okay, cool. This 5 minutes is going to feel like half an hour. And it was when the lights were so bright, I couldn't even see the front row. So it
Ooh.
was just staring into the abyss. And, the scariest thing that there was nothing staring back. So, yeah,
Ah.
fun and games.
Was it a very lonely experience?
Very, very, very lovely. Very, very lovely. So, so we're quite new. You'd probably be the best person to give someone the advice of. I've never done stand up before. I'm thinking of going on stage for the first time, but I'm not sure. Karen, you're new to it. What would you advise them?
My advice would be life's too short. Go and do it. What's the very worst? They're going to not laugh at you and boo you off stage.
Mm.
Just do it for the experience. And if you do it and you like it, we all know you get the bug. It's like an addiction. You want to do more and more. So if you do it, you like it, the audience like it, carry on and keep doing it. If you do it and you really don't like it and the audience don't take to you, then find another creative outlet like poetry or I don't know, music or something, singing. But I would just say life's too short. Just do it. Get it out your system because you never know. It could change your life forever, like it did with mine.
100%. My last question for you, Karen, is so we've done poetry before and now we've done comedy. What did you prefer? And did you think doing the poetry side enhance your comedic abilities?
Ah, yes. I've just recently gone back into acting, and getting loads of rejections, but I have done a couple of like minor community student films, and one for a festival, so that's good. So coming from the acting background does help. The poetry and the stand up are completely different.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I suppose the poetry I can put a little bit of humour into it, and the stand up I can get people thinking, do you know, she's had cancer. She's talking about colostomy bags. How brave is she? You know, what an inspirational figure, what a resilient woman, and she's still smiling and joking and laughing about it. Because I think it makes people think that life is very precious. And one and two of us will get cancer, and it could happen to them or their loved one or family member, friend, work colleague one day. So yeah, I think the poetry and the stand up work hand in hand, but completely different. But I do put a little bit of humour into my performance poetry
Hmm.
and a little bit of education into the stand up, if that sort of makes sense. In Karen's random world, it makes sense, but I don't know if it makes sense in your world and other people's worlds.
I do 100%. Okay, one thing I always disagree with is I do not think comedians and actors should use their platform for politics. I disagree with that bit, but I think if you have an important message about, life, that's perfect. That's share your platform to help others, not to
Oh,
brainwash them, not to brainwash
oh
them,
God,
but
no.
to, if they can go away laughing and also deep in thought and learning something from it, then I think that is the
Hmm.
perfect combination.
Absolutely. I mean, I never do politics or religion. Politics, I don't understand it. It goes completely over my head. And religion, well, I did the Cliff Richard joke and going straight to hell anyway, aren't I? So
You might have to find a
religion
new
and
religion.
politics, I don't do. I don't do. And I don't do things like feminism because I don't really understand it. I keep it very simple in Karen's little Barbie doll world. Um, but yeah, I know what you mean. And I don't want to brainwash anyone. I just want them to think, what a brave girl getting up there and having a laugh about her colostomy bag. Because I think if you can laugh at the fact that you have to wear a colostomy bag for life, your bag for life that saved your life, your bag for living, then you're halfway there to coping. It's like a coping mechanism. So I just laugh. I think, well, what the hell, you know? And at the
I,
end of the day, life is shit, and I have a bag full of shit to prove that life is shit.
I've had two jokes come to my head here. There must be something with retail bag for life.
I do that. I do that one. Yeah, that's a
Okay,
good one.
and
That is mentioned.
this one is awful, and I always hate the fact this comes to my head with the Barbie song. Come on, Barbie, I need a farty. I don't know why it's awful, but
You can't really fart when you've got a colostomy bag. Well, I can't.
yeah,
I haven't had a good poo from the bum hole or a good fart for 6 years since this all happened when I had my surgery. So I can't fart. I get really envious when my sister farts and my friends fart and they, smelly, noisy farts. I'm like, I can't do that anymore. I'm a bit jealous. I got fart envy.
there must be an anal joke there as well.
Oh,
Like,
there's loads. I'm sure there is. Yeah. I mean, you can't have any naughty bum sex. Not that I ever did anyway. But
come on,
yeah,
Callum, we
it
know
goes
you're going
a
hell,
long
so
way, I mean, I'm a nice girl. I do nice things. Um, but yeah, it does open up all kind like a can of worms, and yeah, as long as it's done in a empathetic way that people can have a little bit of a laugh about. But
yeah.
yeah, I've got 101 about my colostomy bag. Oh yeah, it goes on forever, the jokes, and I can't think of a single one now. You put me on the press under pressure.
It's so much easier doing it on stage than it is because you're in that environment. Like
Yeah,
it's like almost on the street. What do you do? I'm a comedian. Oh, tell me a joke. Um,
oh, I hate that.
yeah,
I
it's all
hate that.
it's so right. Karen, thank you ever so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
Okay,
And yeah, look forward to one day maybe being on the same comedy bill
so
as you as
same
well.
circuit. And if you want to see Karen, head up to Birmingham. She's doing a bit in Edinburgh and you're doing a bit in Nottingham. So yeah, we'll keep a lookout for you.
Oh, thank you